It usually begins in silence. The room is dark. The phone screen glows. You lie there scrolling, staring, rereading the message that once made your heart leap. Not because it was profound, but because it made you feel seen, wanted, momentarily alive. You whisper to yourself that it was love. But was it? We rarely question the intensity of our longing. We call it connection, fate, romance. But beneath it often lies something darker, quieter, more persistent, a hunger to be validated, a desperation to finally matter, to finally feel enough. This is not about her. This is not about him. This is about you, your ache to be chosen, to be approved of, to be rescued from the voice that says you are invisible. We mistake the chemistry for connection, the butterflies for love, the chase for passion. But often what we're really doing is chasing an internal fix, an emotional high that masks an old wound. It's not just that you want someone, it's that you need to believe you're lovable, because somewhere along the way, someone made you feel you want. What if the love you've always longed for wasn't love at all? What if it was a projection, a fantasy built not on who they are, but on what you've always needed them to be? This is not a story of romance. This is a story of reckoning.
To understand why we chase validation disguised as love, we must go back to where it began, childhood. You weren't born needing to perform for love. You learned it, slowly, over time, through the way your caretakers mirrored or failed to mirror your emotional world. Maybe your mother was distant, not cruel, just absent, emotionally preoccupied, unavailable, cold. Maybe your father only offered approval when you achieved something. Maybe love was given in exchange for silence, obedience, or perfection. So you adapted. You became the pleaser, the achiever, the ghost, the savior. You built masks that kept you safe, roles that made you lovable. And you believed, without ever saying it out loud, if I am not what they want, I will not be loved. This is how the seed of core shame is planted. Not the belief that you did something wrong, but that you are something wrong, that your real self is unworthy of affection. And so, in adulthood, you keep reaching for love the way a starving person reaches for scraps. You don't just want a partner, you want redemption. You want someone to undo the emotional math your childhood wrote into your bones. This is why rejection hurts more than it should, why being ignored feels like death. Because to the wounded child within, it is death, the death of hope, of visibility, of worth. We don't just want to be loved, we want to be healed by love. And that's the wound we carry into every relationship. Next, we confront something deeper, the woman as a symbol, not a person. She wasn't just a woman, she was a symbol of warmth, safety, softness, of being enough, of finally being chosen. But she didn't ask to be that symbol. You made her that way. This is the psychology of projection. Carl Jung warned us, we are not what we think we are what we hide. We don't fall in love with people. We fall in love with what they reflect back to us, or what we hope they will. She became a screen onto which you projected your hunger, your fantasy, your longing. She wasn't just beautiful, she was salvation. She wasn't just attentive, she was the mother you never had. You didn't see her, you saw your unmet needs dressed in her skin. And this is the tragedy of projection. It blinds us to the person in front of us. We don't love them. We love the feeling we believe they can give us, the illusion that through their love we will finally become whole. But no one can carry that weight forever. Eventually, she disappoints you. She becomes real, human, flawed. And because you projected your wholeness onto her, her humanness feels like betrayal. The fantasy dies, and so does the illusion of healing.
Love, or what we call love, becomes a drug, not because the person is extraordinary, but because they activate something deep, ancient, addictive within us, the hope of being chosen. When she responds, your heart races. When she doesn't, you spiral. You call it passion, but it's withdrawal. This is the same mechanism that drives addiction, intermittent reinforcement. The unpredictability of attention creates obsession. When the validation comes in waves, we chase it harder. We become willing to abandon ourselves for one more hit of approval. And so we tolerate the bare minimum. We ignore the red flags. We romanticize their inconsistency. Because when they finally choose us, even for a moment, we feel alive. But this is not love. This is emotional dependency. You're not addicted to her. You're addicted to the version of yourself you believe you become when she wants you. Worthy, desirable, enough. And when she withdraws, you collapse back into the void. Not because she's gone, but because the fantasy of wholeness is gone with her. We don't chase people. We chase the way we want to feel when they choose us. But the price of being chosen is often abandoning yourself. So what is love? Erich Fromm once said, "Immature love says, 'I love you because I need you.' Mature love says, 'I need you because I love you.' Validation is conditional, love is not. Validation says, 'Prove to me I matter.' Love says, 'I see you.' When we seek validation, we turn people into mirrors. Their attention becomes our worth. Their rejection becomes our shame. But real love requires presence, patience, freedom. It requires us to be, not perform, to share, not beg. Ask yourself this: if they stopped validating you, would you still want them? If they saw you fully but didn't glorify you, would you stay? Most people wouldn't, because they don't want love, they want relief from their inner emptiness. And that relief feels like love until it disappears. The problem isn't that we want to be loved. It's that we want love to do what only healing can do. In the next part, we ask a painful question. The mirror of pain, why you keep choosing the same person? We repeat what we don't repair. You keep choosing the same kind of person because your unconscious is trying to rewrite your story. You fall for the unavailable, the cold, the distant, because deep inside, you're hoping this time someone like them will finally choose you, and in that choosing, you will finally undo the pain of never being enough. But this is not healing. It is repetition. Freud called it repetition compulsion. Jung called it the projection of the shadow. You are not choosing partners, you are choosing mirrors. And until you see this, you will continue to confuse pain with passion. Letting go isn't about them, it's about mourning who you hoped they would be. It's about burying the fantasy, the imagined rescue, the dream of finally being saved. There is grief in clarity. There is sorrow in waking up. Because you realize they were never the one. They were the one who held the illusion. And now you must face what's left, the empty space inside you that only you can fill. This is not defeat. It's liberation. Because in surrender, there is peace. And in mourning, there is rebirth. You don't need her to see you. You need to see yourself. Carl Jung spoke of individuation, the process of becoming whole, of integrating the parts of us we've hidden, denied, abandoned. You are not broken, you are fragmented, and every toxic love was pointing you back to the places you need to reclaim.
Real love doesn't complete you. It meets you where you are already whole. You were never meant to earn love through performance. You were meant to remember that you are love. And when you finally stop seeking someone to fix your pain, you will find someone who can hold it. But more importantly, you will become someone who can hold it. The return is not to her, it is to you. Welcome home. How do you relate to this journey? Have you ever mistaken the ache for validation as love? Have you been chasing someone to fix what was never theirs to heal? If this spoke to you, share your truth in the comments. Tell us where you are in your story. Your voice might be the one someone else needs to hear.